Hey guys, Luna here, and we're basically just doing a talkback show with the Nova SMP, and I'm gonna just listen into the live stream of start off before we actually do the questions with everyone else. So
this isn't. I mean, this is probably the most I've set up for one of these little things. Usually, it's just me putting people on the screen and saying funny questions. But go watch it. I will watch it as soon as I am able to, which is tomorrow. Because I'm going to sleep after this. It's very late. I'm gonna undeafen in the Discord. Are you guys excited? Nova SMP is finally ended. I'm really nervous. Whoa, ready? They're all popping. They're all here. Oh my.
Hi.
Hello. What the fuck happened to me and Chroma?
You're here. You're here.
All the pixels.
They're all here.
Yay!
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Up, losers. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Unless you're not.
Hi,
then-
I hope you're having a lovely day. What do you mean?
Wait, really? Oh my god. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, this last one I fell asleep.
Hello. Pixels.
Yeah, I think the sudden upscaling of our live 2Ders was a very momentous occasion. I'm glad you're here and alive. Thank you all for coming.
Yay. Glad to be here.
We are going to start with our first very simple question, going down the Discord list. Who are you? And what characters did you play in this lovely season? We're starting with Ink, I believe.
Hi, I'm Ink, and I played Miss Eden Vesper this season. I'm sorry I wasn't really active during the second half. It's because I caught COVID, and I was basically put out of commission for a whole month. So yeah.
Chroma, you're next.
Hello, I'm Chroma. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Chroma, Cyberman YouTuber. I'm at like 30 bits. But for the first half of Nova SMP, I played everyone's favorite dog girl. I mean rabbit girl. I mean dog girl, Estrella Celine. And then for the second half of Lament of Nova, I played Gaslight Victim, World Ender Crime Trio, 1/3 of them, Loreline and Bea. Why, hello.
Wow.
Mm.
Whoever's next in the line, you can just go as soon as the previous person is done talking.
Okay, hi. I'm Luna. I played Noltamere the Dreamer in the first half, and for the second half, I played Jade the Turtle and Umbra Incubo, the undead Endurian, even though the origin said the undead cannibal.
All right. I assume that's me next. Hi, my name is Moonlight. I didn't make too much of a presence last season. This year has been reckless, but I played Yanalith. They were kind of like an artificer in that world, you know, kind of just plopped down in the middle of everything after everyone came there. So I was a little bit late, but it was fun. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. That's how it looks like. Thank you, Chroma, for your... All right, I'm done.
Alright. Hi everyone, it's me, a giant corpse in your fucking living room, Yamcha post on the floor. I'm Seraph Ostraga, nice to meet you everyone. I played Vera LaRouge, the resident mommy sorry.
Oh, is it my turn?
Sorry,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah,
go.
you-
I forgot
I go
you're
last.
going glass. I forgot you're going. Hi, I'm Starlight. I played Rain, Draco Gem, the resident bard that was de-aged in Nova from the other world. Yeah, they pretty much kept to themselves and did, young adult shenanigans. That's it.
I'm Zen, and I played Yuta Sinclair, and I found the One Piece.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah! The One Piece is
Let's
cool.
go!
My name is Archon, and I played Grim Greatwood in Nova SMP.
Wow.
The orphan.
Fuck you.
In parentheses, his parents died. Close parentheses.
Bruh. You ain't gotta do me like that.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, to
All
be
his
fair,
friends are
Jade
dead.
was also an orphan. To my
We're all
technicality.
orphans.
Say what you want about Grim, but he did have some great wood.
Hey, I had a really great father, okay?
I mean, technically, if your parents died while you were still alive, does that make you an orphan if you weren't already an adult?
Technically, then
No.
every orphan would not be an orphan. 'Cause
Yeah.
their parents have to give birth before they die, right? Okay.
I think-
Anyway, I'm gonna be reading, also answering my questions and then answering Red's questions because Red could not make it tonight. So I'll do Red's questions and I'll answer them for myself. So Red, they played Sunlight and Hyoga, and they also played the NPCs Aubade, Zion, and Nova Drone 1, rest in piss. Oh, and Thanos. Yeah.
One
And
of my
me,
favorite
hi,
character.
my favorite character. Hi, I'm Shizuka. You can call me Shizukek if you will. I am the host today, and I played Belle or Nemu, whatever you want to call her. I'm happy to have you all here with us today. Let's transfer over to the thingy. What? Oh, Moon's still here.
Wait, shit.
Get out
If
of
we're
here.
gonna mention the drones,
Oh.
I'm just gonna say
Hey,
I
Pi.
also behind the scenes
Yeast moon
was
out the window.
drone number 666.
Rest
the
in pieces,
building.
everyone. They're all dead.
Yep. rest in
All of the
pieces.
drones are dead. Rest in pieces.
All ever.
Yep.
Let's see.
Fuck them
Next-
weak ass drones. Oh, Snake heard them.
Hey, I was.
Now that we're going into the bigger questions, I'll have you pulled up one by one. So, the first question that we have for us to answer individually today is... Bum, 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 bum.
That's a long ass
Da,
question.
da, 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 da.
That's a long ass.
Yeah, I'll have
question,
to fix the thing as it goes along. But what was the original concept for your character? Did you take any inspiration from any of your existing characters or characters from other media? Ink, you're the first one to go. Pop off.
Hi. So, the inspiration for Eden actually wasn't any particular character, but an enchantment in the game. So, as a preface, one of our mods is Minecraft Dungeons weapons and like armors and artifacts and stuff. And so, one of the available enchantments for that we had was something called Pain Cycle, where essentially the more you get hurt, the stronger your attacks became. And I was like, that sounds like an interesting enchantment. But under normal circumstances, like, you really wouldn't be able to use it. So I decided, you know what? This season, I'm going to go ahead and build my entire character around this enchantment. And so, like, one of the biggest things about Eden was that, like, she would get strength too and, like, speed whenever, like, she got hurt. So it would be extremely advantageous for me to run something like Pain Cycle because, like, the more I get hurt, the more damage I deal, basically. And then everything else just kind of fell into place. I guess one of the inspirations I had was, God, what was her name again? Kaguya Hime from, Zeno Alice, who was also a massive masochist, and, I'm just gonna take the time to say, rest in piss, Zeno Alice, and a service later this month. I'm very sad. Anyway,
Did you
that's
take
it
any
for me.
from like Kaguya Hime of like folklore?
No.
Okay.
Specifically the Sinnoh Alice character.
Okay.
Who's
I
derived
don't
from
know.
folklore, but
I was interested, I'll be honest.
oh, you should look her up. She's amazing. Like, so basically
She's
the
great.
derivation from the folklore is that, like, essentially she sent all of, like, her suitors on these wild ass quests because she wanted somebody who would tell her to fuck off. But she never got her wish.
Aw, man.
So
Thank you.
wanted her author to essentially write her a suitor who would tell her to fuck off.
Poggers?
Yep.
I think. There's a very heavy question mark at the end of that. Thank you, Ink. Let's see, who's next is Chromo. Big Chromo.
What big-
Big mother
Big
energy.
Chromo.
I'm a little huge. Anyways, oh, the original concept for characters, since I had 2 this season, entire season, well, Estrella, her original concept took from 2 things. One was a old SMP character I had, like, probably in 2019, that lasted for a week. And she was just a wolf girl that was happy to be there. But when I made her, I was like, I don't want just a wolf. I want something more. And then there's a song by Shakira called She-Wolf.
Is it Hips Don't Lie?
No, but
Okay.
she did have hips that did not lie. But it's She-Wolf, which talks about, like, you know, it's the line is literally, she's a she-wolf in disguise. So I wanted, like, a prey appearance, apex predator personality, but she ended up just being a therapist. As for Lorelai, I don't think I had any starting inspiration, but as I started to form her character persona as well as what she wanted to be, I started to think about Belle, like the not the Beauty and the Beast Disney, the animated one, like the anime one, Belle, because there was a song called A Million Miles Away that I thought fit her very well. And then I also took a little bit from Kaguya-sama Love is, but I wanted, like, the very prim girl that didn't know how to deal with her emotions. So yeah, that was my inspiration for Lorelai.
Thank you very much. Then there you go. Roy, who's next?
That would be me.
You were not next in my line. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go.
So I'll start with Nolta first because Nolta was my first character. So going into this, I honestly had no idea what to really expect at all going into survival multiplayer that was focused around role-playing. So partly going into this, I wanted to something familiar that I knew fairly well, at least story-wise, and Nolta themselves is a character that I've adapted quite a bit over the last several years. That's different names, different, like, generic stories and all that, but for the most part, same sort of general concept and same sort of generic backstory and all that, with basically like quote-unquote a godlike origin where she was there since the beginning of time based off of dreams and memories and all that. But the biggest influence at the very least was, at least for origin-wise and like a little bit of personality-wise, was a book series. The first book in the series was The Nightmare Affair, which was with a whole bunch of different like fantasy-based creatures, and one of them being a nightmare where you have to feed, the nightmares have to feed off the dreams of people in order to survive, and if they don't, they would basically end up dying. And I did get a little bit of influence from Nightmare from My Little Pony, ironically enough, with the fact that Luna and Nightmare had sort of like a twist of good, peaceful, happy, and a sort of dark side if things go wrong. And so I wanted to sort of have that twisting duality if things go a little haywire. And for Jade, honestly, didn't really know didn't really have any sort of concept for Jade. I was just like, want to be something peaceful, something innocent, basically that. But it wasn't until later on into the lament of the lament that I actually got a little bit of fun idea for Umbra that I wanted to do something a little bit more for both of them. That, because I used Google Translate to come up with Umbra's name, which full name actually means Shadow Nightmare, and I was like, huh, it's kind of funny that I was like, I did a funny joke with Jade's Heartstone she could almost hear an inner heartbeat coming from it. So I was just like, if Jade is the heart, Umbra could be the body, and Nota is the mind/spirit. So kind of just like a fun little trilogy, and Nota's the puppeteer. And honestly, the main sort of thing going into Umbra, I was like, there's glitches going on in the world and leading to the end, and so I was like, it'd be funny if a Enderman became undead because of the glitches. And funny enough, Star and Moonlight hadn't actually shown it up at that point, so I was like, funny little haha that they hadn't shown up, and I'd become the first Enderian to actually show up again. And yeah, that's basically it.
Somebody in chat said Amakudari core, and I think they're referring to when you said heart, mind, and soul, and I just saw that spoke to me a little bit.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your answer.
Sure.
Amakor.
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 Me and Shuzu laughing in the corner.
Moon, you're up next.
Oh, hello. Okay, so what question? We're on a question. Oh, the original concept for your character. I'll share that one first. So, my character, Yanalith, they were actually related to one of my old past characters that was also on this SMP as well. I didn't get further in the story to introduce the relationship between the two, but actually, it was, I think it was a season or 2 seasons ago, but it was this character. Hold on, is he going to update?
Hold up.
No shot.
It was, yes.
Did it? Oh, it did. So they were associates. So the original the original point is they were in their world together, and Yanalith was they were an artificer, so they use their magic, their inherent magic, and their use of technology in the surrounding world to create devices to bring, well, in the later editions, it was supposed to be like their reactions to, their whole point was time. So they could change a little bit of time, but not in a way that matters. And their whole point was that they were aging up and down and around. They were not at a set age. But the thing is, they were both these characters were some of my first characters I ever created many, many years ago. And I never actually got to put them in a story that wasn't my own. So it was kind of fun to make them into an SMP character and show them around the world where there were many, many, many other people with their own ideas in a world that they didn't belong. And I tried to run with it, but with my limited interactions on the server, because I wasn't there when most people were around.
I was the character from the stream.
Own personal health difficulties right now, it was very difficult to express the hidden lore with the characters that I had before. But I'm glad they got to be introduced, but I due to the circumstances, also it was kind of sad that it ended. But
I'm sorry. Sorry for killing you.
No. They actually
honestly,
didn't
I'm
die,
sorry
I don't
for
think.
finding the portal so soon.
They didn't. I think they were like saved by the phantoms or whatever. They were about to dreamscape and they left on their own. But I didn't expect. It was just a surprise that they just woke up and was like, okay, it's ended. And I was like, oh, okay. To be honest, it's bound to happen sooner or later. So
I mean, yeah.
But that was the original concept. I like to sometimes use some of my old characters, and sometimes they know each other. Like these characters, Xaren was the original one, and the one from this season, which was Yanalith. They were associates, and one of them had a crush on the other. So their story did not turn out well. But they created a device to let them explore other worlds and split their soul apart. And so that part that ended up in this world wasn't very friendly. and so it ended up being a little bit harmful on the people around them. But this isn't about that season. This is about this season. So I think I've talked a little bit too long and overstayed my welcome for that question.
Oh, you're good. We're chilling. We're chilling.
All right, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I feel especially bad because you weren't able to log on as much, and then I mean, there is a reason Nova's Most Wanted cup is on my desk, right?
Yeah.
I still feel really crappy about stumbling onto the portal when I was just searching for frogs.
You really did speed up the process, but hey, pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun. I mean, we're supposed to have different characters for every season. So, all right, bye-bye.
Hello, it's me.
Hello, it's you.
Now it's the portion of this talk show, like in the last one, where I start explaining my character and everyone screams at me that how much they love them. Obviously, the main thing was I tried at least somewhat to dip into making my own characters in this place, but then I was like not comfortable enough to do it yet, so I decided to halfway it, make it her own in this one, and go based off of another D&D character I had, which was also a giant snake. The existing character was more, what if me, who everyone seems to think is nice, became something different and showed my full side of my personality, and that was what happened, so...
It was nice.
It was nice. Taking the inspiration from existing characters. I took, obviously, from my D&D character and some other characters my friends made. Specifically one that I am doing a campaign with now. And the best way I can put it is I made Vera's alignment chaotic asshole. And that's that for now. You get more later. Bye.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see, who's next?
It's me?
Yee.
Hi. Hold on, I need to read the question again. Oh, and I need to
you're
turn
all
my
right.
water off. Sorry, I'm making myself dinner. Sorry about that.
Any to share?
I mean, I have 2 cups. Yeah, you can have a cup noodle.
Amazing.
What was the original concept for
Cup
character?
noodle.
Well, technically, Rain was based off a D&D character from old. Like, they were ancient. That I had ages and ages and ages ago. Except they were full tiefling with a quirk that I'm not going to go into because that is information that will be shared technically in the coming one because that character met Rain, so there's connection. There are also bits and pieces of other non-D&D characters smushed together. And being the bard, like, I love music. Music is great. Didn't really get to bard it out very often, but in either aspect, but I did have fun. I wasn't able to interact as much as I wanted, especially last month, because I got sick twice. And I'm still getting over it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for sharing.
Mm.
I'm scared. I'm actually terrified to move Zen onto the screen. Because I don't know what's going to be
up,
there
man?
waiting for me.
What are you talking about?
Move him on.
Oh, you know.
Nothing. Is there something wrong with my?
It's normal. Okay, we're chill. Awesome.
yeah.
Let's pop in.
Why would it be?
You tell me, dude. You tell me.
Okay. The original concept for my character, the name came from Yuta Okotsu from Jujutsu Kaisen. I was a huge fan of the character when I was making this. But I had also got drunk one night, and I watched this movie called Mortal Kombat Snowblind, and I basically based my entire character off of Sub-Zero. And I drunkenly just wrote that into my character.
Awesome.
And that's pretty much it.
I will say, we were originally told we being like the SMP of Yuta as like the name for this character back in Stellaris when we were seeing the eggs in Lyra's house for the first time. And when I was given in character the question of what to name the other one, I heard the name Yuta and thought of the character from Chunibyo, and that's why Rika's named Rika. I don't
That's
know if
really
anybody
funny.
Ever noticed that.
Wait.
I thought you went with a different reference because in Jujutsu Kaisen, the person that Yuta likes and ends up becoming his like cursed spirit is also named Rika. So I
didn't
thought
know that.
so I thought that's the reference you were going for, and I was like, oh,
No.
Kizu knows. Me and Cheese are on the same page.
I mean,
That's what
know
I had
Jujutsu
thought.
Kaisen, but not that well.
Yeah. So that's really funny that the reference you were referencing was a different reference than what I was going for. And and they both worked that way. I thought that was really funny. That's crazy. I thought we were on the same page.
You know what? I'll pretend that I also had that in mind, okay? Definitely.
Totally.
Totally. Thank you for showing. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Mm.
Who's
Whoa, whoa,
next?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Uh-oh. How bad is the quality
Uh-oh.
gonna be for this one?
I don't know. How bad is it?
It could be worse. Alright, pop off.
Okay. What? What? Huh?
Answer.
Answer the question.
Oh,
Answer.
no. I'm kidding.
No, fuck you. Flies away.
Fuck you.
Don't make me do it.
My... I'm sorry. My original concept for Grim was like... He was like a mix between an old D&D character that I had for a while, but I couldn't really go for it, and like an old Minecraft server that I was in that also had like origins, because the origin that I used that I played on there, Fallen Angel, that's the origin I used there. Mm-hmm. For Grim, mentally he was always going to be insane no matter what. It was just gonna be insane. Just go for it. Just go for it. Play by the actions of the other players to see how well they went with him being insane.
How'd that go for you?
Somewhat worked.
Great. Awesome.
I am. It somewhat worked. Like the halfway point of it being fully insane. No actions being back and forth.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for killing me twice.
You're welcome. Smiles.
Hey, we were a great murder group. Thanks for killing
My
my kid,
God,
by
I
the
am
way. Anyway,
fucking horrible.
thanks for killing my kid, by the way.
That was an accident. Listen, I was learning my fucking keybinds.
I wish I had a picture for Red when I was reading Red's questions. But, well, life is just tragic. Let's see.
Just put
Red,
me on screen.
You want me to put you? Yeah, I'll put you on screen. Fun.
If you want, I can dig through my folders and see if I have one.
Oh, I have
Sure.
a picture of Red. I have a picture of Red. I have their PNG.
Hey, anything.
I have a picture of Red
I
Among
do
Us.
too somewhere.
I have the. Got it.
While you guys do that, I'll read this question's answer.
Look at this guy.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Both characters ended up being a child from one of my previous characters in an earlier season. Hyoga was the daughter of my character Siren from Stellaris, and Sunlight was the twin son from my character Shira from Calamity. Hyoga took on more of her father Sansada's inspiration while still keeping aspects of her mother's race. Sunlight was practically a replica of his mother Shira. And honestly, I can see the resemblance. Poggers! Hold on, let me save that.
The LaRouge just
you.
never get a break. Anyway.
Thank you.
Pretty much.
Okie dokie. We're on to the next question, gamers. This one's a little bit quicker, I think, so let's see. Do that. Alright, this next question is, how far ahead did you plan your character? And were there any specific moments that you were trying to wait for from the beginning of the SMP? Was there any... I don't know. Were there any ideas that you had in mind ever since you were writing this character for the first time? Anything like that. Anything like that goes. So pop off. Ink, your time to shine.
As you guys know, I improvise all of my characters, so unless it's like last season, who like I did end up meticulously planning scenes that ended up getting ruined. 90% of everything that I do is like literally just improv.
I just made a grave mistake.
What?
Anchor, you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, I just made a grave mistake and I forgot to answer the previous question because I was reading Reds. Hold on, let me just quickly read. The original concept of Nemu was seven deadly sins. This one was sloth. Inspiration
Yeah.
Margarita from Evilist Chronicles. She poisoned her whole family. And she also wasn't a human, but everybody thought she was. Smiles, that's about it. Anyway, who's next? Big
Mom.
Chromo.
Big Chromo.
Big
Big
Chromo.
Chromo.
I did plan ahead for Lorelai, but Estrella, I just wanted to be a dog. I did plan in the middle of the season. Estrella's death, which I gaslit people into thinking she wasn't gonna die. Sorry.
You ain't gaslit me, Mom.
You knew. Anyways, but I made people think she was gonna die, and then plans to kill her.
Wow, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. You killed my
That's fine.
therapist.
It affected a few people, so. But where did I?
I wish it could have been able to affect me, but none of my characters do you, so...
Thanks for killing my therapist.
Would
I
love.
appreciate you.
Is that it for the... How far ahead you
I
played?
thought so. I'm trying my best to read the sentences. I'm sorry if I cut you off early.
Oh, no worries. You're good.
I just want to make sure I don't cut you off either for the...
Oh, no, I'm good.
Also, I think you're also playing an ad as well for the people who don't have Prime, so do you want me to wait until the ad is over?
It depends on the person when they open the stream, so
Yeah.
you can go ahead.
Yeah.
They'll be able to watch the VOD.
Yeah, okay. So, at least for going into this, I didn't want to really plan anything major. Maybe some, tiny moments here and there, but for me, 95% of the stuff that I was planning was very just in the moments. And there was obviously, a few things here and there, in Nova that... Nota being very concerned for Maverick in sort of the beginning of where the heck is he and all that. There was definitely going to be a sit down moment for that, but for the most part, didn't really plan anything. And for specifically, there were 3 sort of planned things I did plan at least for overall. The first was the two of them relate to Nota, and the last one relates to Umbra. The first, going into this, is sort of just not maybe necessarily from the beginning, but sort of near the beginning, was whenever one of Nota's soul shards shatters, I knew I wanted, basically whenever she died or whenever our soul shard shattered, I wanted to have an impact on her, because Death had a meeting in Nova, and losing a soul shard also was supposed to be impactful. So I was like,
My bad. Sorry.
no, it worked well, because for at least for Nota, I knew whenever a soul shard shattered, I knew that I wanted her to forget about just whoever their current love interest happened to be. So the first 3 deaths of Nota, even though it wasn't officially a soul shard lost, because of how things worked out, I kind of mentally was hey, first 3 deaths are going to be the most impactful deaths. And the second was dream feeding that I wanted to go into, but I'm going to go more into that with the next question. And the last, obviously, as I mentioned before, relate to Umbra. Going into Layman's, I had a really fun, good interactions with Cass, and I was like, gosh darn, why, this is such a dumb thing that we're actually, by technicality of adoption and all that, we're related. So I wanted the joke, obviously it was just more of a running joke kind of thing of potentially having Umbra and Cass eventually potentially developing feelings for each other, or at least Umbra developing feelings for Cass, which near the end of Lament, I did do a song on my channel of If I Could Tell Her, of which is just like what was it from? I don't remember the series of Dear Evan Hansen, which was like basically if I could tell her what I feel. Obviously, lyrics slightly twisted to fit the Nova SMP situations, but that's basically it.
Thank you very much. Ta-da!
All right. Sorry, well, I need to look at the question.
You're good.
How far ahead did you plan for your character? Was there anything in particular that you have waited for since the beginning? So, ultimately, I kind of yes and no. So for all my characters, I try to have plots for them. General plots or like general events that might happen. But I didn't plan for the character to be like, oh, I want Yanalith to be in the next season or in the next 2 seasons. It was more of a spontaneous, I'm looking at my characters, I'm like, ooh, this would fit. This would look good. I want to see how this works out. And with the people that were already in the SMP, I could take a look at the people's characters, their interactions, and look at my characters and see what I would like to think would look interesting with interacting with other characters and seeing how that would play out. And maybe that would start a conflict, or that would start an alliance, and just like look at what people's reaction would be to my character. So I settled on Yanalith, not just because they had a relation to somebody in the SMP or in ways past. Holy crap! It was actually, I think it was almost a year ago. Maybe. I'm not sure by now.
SMP was like a year ago, yeah.
It was a year ago.
11 months.
So it was basically, yeah. So it was around there. So ultimately I had, if they were to lose like a soul shard, they would change significantly. Their lore from their past life would become more relevant. So they would sometimes say things and people would be like, hold on, that sounds interesting. Why'd you say that? Kind of deal where they would, based on interactions, if they slip up, say something they weren't supposed to, and people are like, hold on, go back. What was that thing that you mentioned before? You seemed like you had some problems with what I said there. But those are the kinds of things, little lore bits that sometimes domino into bigger ones. So if they lost 2 soul shards, then things would have gotten really out of hand with them all over the place, because their whole personality, their whole demeanor was very well kept in the beginning. I remember the Phantoms, which was played by Polaris and Yokaiza, I think is their name. Yoka. I remember a few times I was just, because they could see people's souls. So even if they were invisible, I could just see them hovering around. So they would look up and they'd be like, I can see you. And they would just ignore them for the moment until they brought themselves up. But I remember they were saying they seemed to have a whole thing planned, and they were like, they were obviously messing with them, but it was interesting to see the interaction based on somebody who could see them when nobody else could. I'm not sure if other Phantoms could see other Phantoms when they're invisible, but it was interesting to see, obviously the way that the unique perspective of 2 Phantoms just hopping around. And I was just building my lab, which was never finished.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Never finished. It was never finished, but to be honest, I don't really build much. I'm not much of a builder in Minecraft, so it was fun, and No, I did not have any particular plans. Just little lore bits from their past. Sometimes if they're already my character, and if they're future ones, sometimes I just make them up as we go.
Sure.
Alrighty, my time's done.
Thank you. Bam. Bam. Bam.
Time to talk the longest on this question, I guess. I don't know. But long
Is that a
story.
challenge?
Is that a challenge? I have no idea. Probably. I will start what I'm going to say off by saying I made the mistake of setting a bar for myself. Whenever I make someone in at least like roleplay and stuff, I make their backstory and then do a couple of specific story beats that I want to happen, but I'm not going to be distraught if they don't happen. So I basically my main focus is who that character was. Sunsa was one where he had a lot of rooted backstory, and so is Vera. Vera was, for people who don't know, who just came into Nova in the beginning, that's their first season. Vera was actually a character in Stellaris for like the last couple episodes, because the lore reason was Sunsuna and Hyoga went down under the island to that giant corrupted city, and the lore was they found the giant ziggurat-looking building and broke into it, and they saw a tiny, malnourished, missing an arm, missing an eye, snake down there. They grabbed her, brought her back up, and through that action, and through Sunsuda, with his weirdness, pretty much bringing Vera back to life, there was a everlasting feeling of duty in Vera specifically. Vera wanted to repay the favor instead of just being a daughter. And so Sunsuda gave her one job: protect Hyoga with her life. Then it became a whole Vera would make sure where Hyoga was, walk around everywhere, make sure she was doing alright. And then when dangerous things happened, she tried her best to keep Hyoga out of the line of fire. And for those who didn't pick up on it, she was mostly being a bitch to get the line of fire on her. So that people would look at her instead of the little 5-year-old that got aged up to 101 who was in a vulnerable state.
Do you think that
With all
worked?
that, a little bit actually. There was a little bit of where, like specifically when Hyoga did the wrong thing, and Vera got put in the prison, and Vera went up to Nova and sassed Nova to bring her back down. Made it out to be her fault that Hyoga doesn't know anything at all, and that she's only a 5-year-old girl still. Then Nova let her go, and then through telling Hyoga to do more of the things and having Vera not do any of the social interaction and get life points from it, became a very much oh, this girl's the problem, not this axolotl fox abomination thing. Then Foxolotl, whatever. I know. I'm just saying what other people said. All right. Yeah. And when the lament thing happened, because Vera, as well as not doing anything, badmouthed the government so hard.
As you should.
Yes, as she should have, specifically because it was putting Hyoga in danger. They when the Lament happened, there was a time skip story beat of Hyoga asking Vera to actually train her at some point, and then me and Sunlight made a whole, not Sunlight, me and Red made a whole music video about it. And the background of the music video was recording of Hyoga trying to beat Vera but couldn't at all at any point in time for 3 whole minutes sped up, which was like 10 minutes, I think, of recording a fight. Then all the other stuff. happened, blah, blah. Then Lorelai came into the picture, and then I made a new story beat. It was... Vera has another little sister. And the story beat of that was whenever Lorelai was breaking down at a breaking point, Vera would pull her aside and pretty much be the therapist that was needed. The person that needed to say specific things that no one else would. Then obviously the eggs were a thing that was our plan were going to happen because of specific lore beats of the biology of her, which is Gorgon, Naga Queen, where my backstory with the whole entire base where they found her was a cult-like Naga race that decided to play God and got punished for it during the Calamity.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think there's a lot that you can talk about with the next question, so I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. Star, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, as you know, Rain was from Stellaris beforehand, I think. I don't know, I'm all mixed up.
Yes.
And that's the planet they were born. I had planned many things back then, and I was gonna roll them over to Nova. But then I decided to go a different route, considering they were DH, based on a roll of the dice. They were actually supposed to, because when they were DH, they still had their mind was still that of a middle-aged person, because that's what they were in Stellaris. So they were a middle-aged mind stuck in a young adult body. But as the soul shards would have been like stolen or destroyed or whatever, they were supposed to start mentally regressing back to that stage, and that time in their life was a lot more volatile, and they were a lot more actively hateful. But I never really got around to it for multiple reasons. The main one being sick during the ending, because that would have been a perfect time for people to, steal and or destroy a soul shard. But yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot more loving, because they're a bard. I wanted them to be a lot more, involved with peoples in a sensual sort of way, not necessarily sexual, sensual. A lot more cuddling, a lot more smooching, that kind of thing.
I still love the moment between Rain and Nalta, to be honest, in Nova.
I got a little bit of it, but not nearly as much as a bard should.
If you ever have a future character with that kind of personality, then I'm excited to see it.
Well, there might be in the future, unknown. But my next person is going to be interesting, because, But anyway, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeet. Bam. Bam. Bam.
Bam.
Bam. Are you gonna... Is Bam...
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm totally good. So, for the first half of the server, and I mark half as when we had to do a restart, I basically had planned everything that my character was gonna do. And I had I think some of you guys might have seen it, because I might have shown you, but I had this, I have one for every season, a Google document that shows my ideal plan for each season, and goals, and then scenarios based on how I see people play their characters in previous seasons, and how I think people's characters are gonna go based off of their personalities and their likes. I put a lot of research into it for the first couple weeks of the server, and everything pretty much went exactly how I thought it was gonna go to a certain extent. And then I kind of stopped doing that the last half of the server when we restarted, because everything kind of got reset, and then we got introduced to that Phantom storyline, because Arian wasn't online as much, is what I'm guessing what happened there. So I was just kind of rolling with the flow after that.
Yeah, you were definitely... Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, except for that last thing, the last thing we were doing, but
yeah. We should probably talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
did. I will say a thing that I did plan that I'm glad kind of went through is at the beginning of the server, I think during the last interview, is I said I was gonna murder one person,
Mhm.
right? I was gonna spin a wheel and murder one person. It was just their character, not like the person specifically, just like
Yeah.
whoever they were playing. And I did do that, so I did feel pretty good about that. And after that, I was just kind of coasting. I was like, hey, whatever we do, I'm good with it, man.
Do you want to share who that person was?
Oh, it was Nova, yeah.
And for people who were unaware, were not watching those streams, or are, they did kill Nova. Nova
It's
did die.
Yeah, if you guys might not have seen it, but like you can see it on either Red Ink or Chroma stream that there's like a part where I like interrupt Jormungandr killing Nova, but then we kill Jormungandr and then Nova's just on the floor dying. And there is a moment where I could have saved there's a moment I could save Nova, but then I'm like, I don't think I will.
Good.
I don't think I will do that.
Good. I'm glad you didn't. Honestly,
But
the
if-
story would have turned out so different if you did, though.
If that wasn't on my list, I probably would have actually genuinely tried to save Nova there.
Wow. Interesting.
Down with the government.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, down with the government. Okay, that was all I had to say though.
Okay,
Obviously-
thank you. Archon, you're up.
At least
Okay.
in this season.
I'll match you. Archon's dead.
Hello. Sorry,
Why do
I
you
was
have
just
another
fucking with
black
stuff.
bar above you? It's just. I'll
Don't-
get
don't
rid of
worry
that
about
for
it.
you. It's gone now.
Don't worry about it too much.
Sure.
Archon out here like, hello, it's me.
240p, my
hello,
beloved.
it's
How you
me.
doing?
240p, my beloved. I'm doing pretty fine. I'm kidding.
Oh, Archon's like, hello, it's me, cannoli Italian.
Cannoli Italian.
Cannoli Italian. Okay, for anything interesting that I wanted specifically at the beginning, I didn't really want to build sorry, not really. It's more like, yeah, from the previous question, I want to take ideas from the world or whatever I find interesting, like to affect Grim. Originally, Grim was never supposed to get sick with the skull trademark. But I thought it would be really interesting to see what would happen and see what see how it would correlate to how well he got insane. Yep.
That's it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's basically it. Yep. Mhm.
Awesome.
I have really
Awesome.
short answers.
That's fair. Because you gotta save some time for the two that I have to go for right now. So, Rhett's answers. Kyoga's life and path was not truly planned out. It was more of a go with the flow and create lore around other people kind of story. Sunlight's, though, oh my, what started as nothing ended up with unexpected plans and secrets. So much was going on and I couldn't say anything. Let's just say I have a lore video to give just a taste of what was going on with Sunlight, which I will not be showing on stream because it's like 40 minutes long, but I will be posting the link in the chat. I will spam it at the end of this talk show.
I know what that's
Hoggers
about.
champions.
Smile.
I am assuming you do. For Nemu, how far did I plan ahead? I planned a lot ahead. I had her design done first because originally Nemu's design was just made on the fly in Blockbench, in a Discord call when we were finding out that we were gonna have Figura this season, and I knew that I wanted to make like a perfect like white with red character. So then I wanted to make somebody with the opposite design later on. So Nemu switching from white to black was going to be from the start. There were a few things that I was waiting for since the beginning. Some of which I'm not going to talk about until the next question because they weren't able to happen. But I did eventually want to build her a castle, and I did do that, and I was really happy about that. Another thing was that I wanted her to kill a lot of people, and that did happen. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. This is a heartfelt apology from me, Shizuka, to any of you in which I affected with my mass murders. Several, because I killed everyone at the end of the season. I killed everyone, or at least took a life off of them in the middle of the season. When we messed with those books.
Twice.
My bad, guys. My bad. What else did I plan ahead with? I wasn't expecting to have a child. That entire thing was like really sudden. I didn't think I was gonna become any Wisp's primary caretaker. So that kind of, I don't know. I was planning to be pretty antisocial, but that kind of changed everything.
That right was trying so hard to become Jen's primary caretaker for the thing.
Oh man, we should probably have a conversation about the Wisps later, but let's go on to the next question for now, which is kind of similar. Instead of if you had planned anything from the beginning, this question is, what did you have planned that you were not able to act on? And why not? Was it because of another character? Was it because of the server getting exploded? This is your chance to talk about that. Pop off, have fun. Let's hear it.
Okay, so first of all, I guess the biggest thing that I didn't get to do was more or less make my big return from sick leave at the very end, because literally the day before I wanted to like return to the SMP and like do my stream because I was feeling well enough and like my lungs weren't dying as much. You killed the server. So I was like, okay, then I guess I'm not coming back from sick leave. But no, the biggest thing that I want happen that didn't happen isn't really on behalf of Eden, but rather on behalf of the entire mod team.
Yeah.
So, end of part 1, we had this like team like base building competition along with like dungeon raiding and stuff. So essentially whichever team built the best base and raided the most loot from the dungeons would get some nice stuff. And so like as we were making the teams, we realized, wait, we have like sort of a love polygon forming in Team 3, except one of the members, I believe it was
Rika.
It was
Oh,
Rika.
yeah.
Rika had a thing for
Rika and
Rain, and I had a thing going on with Rain and Maverick.
Yeah, so we were like, great, let's stick them all onto one team and, do a little bit of shuffling. So, sure, it's not going to be exactly random, but nobody will know what we did behind the scenes, right? So basically the mod team was sitting back, like, we had our drinks, we had our soda, we had our popcorn ready. We were ready to witness Rika murder somebody out of jealousy. Turn Rika back into a wisp.
Yeah, that just thinking about that makes me very upset. It just made me so sad, both in and out of character. But thank you for bringing up that base competition, because that, oh my god, that changed. If that never happened, this SMP would have gone a lot differently. Is all I'm gonna say. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Ink?
Nope. Other than I wish Eden could have rated Keep Kyra from with Estrella. Otherwise, yeah, my biggest thing that I wish to see was essentially the Team 3 soap opera.
I was so looking forward to some of that too, but then my soul shard broke too as well, which was kind of the irony.
And I oop. Bam. All right, Chromo.
Alrighty.
Oh, you got larger.
Oh.
Bigger
She's too thick.
Chromo.
She's too thick for this
Bigger
world.
promo.
Oh, sorry.
Giant.
Well, since I had 2 characters. Okay, well, for Estrella, I guess I couldn't act on my lore build a little more, like the little tree area, because one, I built it 13,000 blocks out, and apparently that crashed the server enough times, and I got scolded for it. And I also ended up not building it, so I didn't get to use that, and I was also really upset that I couldn't, well, not really upset, but I was sad that I couldn't do the entire Estrella death event, because me and Alrian, who plays Jormungandr, Maverick, me and Alrian, we planned the whole, like, chase scene. We planned a chase scene in Jormungandr's asylum-like base. Like, it was the asylum dungeon from Dungeons Arise, and it's actually really scary. And so we planned that for a week and a half. Like, Alrian had some quotes planned. I was ready to get TP'd back. Like, we had all these commands planned ready, and like all these case scenarios, and we didn't really get to do it because Estrella ended up dying for that. And Yeah, that's it for Estrella. But for Lorelai, I blame Archon for this one. But
What?
originally-
What do you mean?
I know exactly where this is going.
Listen,
I know too.
so as for Lorelai,
Same.
I had this concept where she was supposed to be extremely clingy with Rika, because basically had both partners of her life fucking go away. Oh, part of my like disappear, and her chance to be with her first love was like right in front of her. And so she was supposed to be clingy and almost like an attack dog. Like if Rika wanted someone dead, she would kill someone for him. Like she was just supposed to like be a yes man just for Rika. But she couldn't because someone turned him into a wisp again. And then the thing is, when Iris technically died, right? When Iris's wisp technically died, he was supposed to come back as Rika again. But then
Dask, yeah.
Iris back. Dask wished for Iris back. So if it wasn't for like both times Rika turned into Iris, I would have had my attack dog moment. But yeah, that was a really bad end.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
Wow.
blaming me blaming me for all.
It was your
problems.
fault.
Her
It was your fault.
It was your fault. You did.
Man,
It was
man,
your-
I did
it was
not.
Dask's
I did
fault.
not.
It was, but
It was.
I digress.
No.
Nuna?
Okay, so I think some of the here I'm gonna just